What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sandlot Bros Podcast. Holy. Hope everyone's doing good. Sorry for the lack of episodes. I've been kind of sick the last couple of days, and then E had some family stuff going on, so we had to take a little couple of days off, but we're back now. So, how you doing, E? How's everything?
Everything's good. I'm excited to get back going, start recording some stuff, going live a little more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy to get into some COD today, man.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into some CDL. Uh, Major two just wrapped up, so we're gonna go over Saturday and Sunday. Not a lot of exciting stuff on Saturday, so it was pretty boring to be honest. And then after some CDL Saturday Sunday reviews and winners losers and all that stuff, we'll hit some key matchups in basketball. We won't run through every single game. We'll just run through some of the close games, important games, some seeding games, and see where teams stand as of now that they play today. But yeah, and some key highlight players. But so that's all we have for you guys today. Will be some CDL, Call of Duty, and then some basketball for you guys.
Yes, sir. Baseball season right around the corner, man.
Exciting, exciting.
Yes, sir.
We'll have a little baseball stuff before the season start as well. Once that gets closer. But I guess I'll kick it off here with it was the first matchup on Saturday, which was Optic getting 3-0 to Ultra
Yes, sir.
after looking. I wouldn't say they looked crazy good on Friday, but they looked better than recent memory.
Yeah, they looked a lot better.
Yeah,
And
but then they get
first
3
time in a
0.
month.
Yeah, they get 3 0 by Ultra, and I was like, well, I'm back to the same old stuff again. So that kind of sucked to see. Anything to highlight in that series?
Sorry, repeat that. You kind of cut out.
I said, if there's anything to highlight in that series between Optic and
Oh,
Toronto.
I mean, nothing really stands out. It's just, listen, Ultra's a good team. I wouldn't like they're a very, very good team. They're top echelon of the league. Definitely, I would say top six team. Playing to their full potential, they could be a top. They could contend with a top four team. This is a matchup. If Optic is rolling, they should win. Like they're the top three best on paper, best team. But I mean, it's a lot of the same things that you saw like during the qualifiers. A lot of single child. A lot of people just going out doing just trying to 1v2, 1v3, 1v4 the team. They start off, if you look at the first like couple minutes of Hardpoint, it looks very good, and then like it just fell apart. And it could again, like I said, Ultra is a very good oiled machine, and right now Optic is not. So I mean, they just get beat. They get beat by the better team. So Optic goes home with that loss.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure what the game plan was against Toronto. It didn't seem like they had one compared to as on Friday. They kind of everyone just kind of went to slay out, and then Skies was kind of playing sitting on the hill for the whole time. So his
Yeah,
numbers didn't look great, but he had a lot of hill time for the most part. And then come Saturday, they kind of didn't do that. So I don't know what their plan was, but obviously they're a new
reverted back
team.
to old habits, man.
Yeah, they're a new team, so it's gonna take some time to gel, unfortunately. So they won't see results right away. But it was good to see them actually win a series. So that's one positive you can take away from that. Obviously they beat Rocker, so it wasn't too crazy. But I mean, they weren't beating anybody, so it's good to see them actually win. Moving
Yeah,
on to the next team that played was Boston versus Surge,
yeah,
which I'm not gonna lie, that was probably the most. It was a little entertaining just because Boston's been playing really well.
yeah.
Obviously, Surge just a better team overall, but Boston has been playing a lot better, and they've been a lot more exciting as well. And I just feel like I don't know, there's just a couple more key plays and key rotations away from being a contending team out there in Boston.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, I know it's a 3-1, but this probably series is probably I would consider almost a banger. I mean, the two hard points are separated by less than 8 points. You got
Mm-hmm.
250 to 248, and then the other one you got 242 to 250, splitting it 1-1 between the two sides. But you could see Surge take over and the S&D in control. But I agree with you. I look at Snoopy, man, for Boston. That guy is. That guy's great, man. The way he flies around the map, he just looks so effortless at times. And then Surge, I mean, we'll talk about Surge going into Sunday, but they just look since dropping Hixie and adding Neptune, just look on a different level of a team right now. And they, like I said, they'll carry that into going into Sunday. But yeah,
Yeah, they look good. I feel like that with there's a couple key moments that where they kind of threw the one of the maps here and there, and I guess
yeah.
if it goes their way, we're talking about a better series, maybe a 3-2,
Hmm.
maybe even Boston wins, but it's little things they gotta clean up, which I think they can make those adjustments rather quickly.
Yeah.
And then we had Atlanta FaZe versus Cloud9 New York. 3-1 FaZe. I don't think anyone saw it differently. I thought it would be a little closer, but you know, FaZe kind of phased out and just took them down.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree. I mean, that's not hard. First hard point was close. I mean, they lose, then Cloud9 loses the search, then they win the control 3-0, and you're like, wait, whoa, reverse sweep time. And then FaZe like, nah, stop all that. We'll
Yeah,
stop joking around, you guys. Um, yeah, I mean, Simp and Cellium both post a 1-2, and then Cramp on the other side, the only person positive attach a .67. So it's not a recipe to win against FaZe at
yeah,
all. Like you need all four guns shooting against FaZe, and hopefully one of their guns isn't shooting back at you. But again, FaZe is showing they're the most dominant team in the game right now. So
yeah,
tough one for New York, really.
yeah. And then you end up having Boston going against Toronto, which to me was kind of shocking that they just kind of got 3-0'd by Toronto after they were playing so well.
Yeah.
And that in Boston. But Toronto's just one of those teams that's kind of they have such good team chem. It's a hard team to beat, and it's such a hard matchup for Boston. I think just in general, they play so well and organized. Toronto does, and
Hmm.
it's a hard team to just get them out of their routines and stuff like that because they're just so well and gelled together.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, this was a very, very, very quick series. I don't even think this match lasted more than 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I mean, the hard point was close. After that, it was just a steamroll. 6-2 in the search and 3-0 and then the control. Everybody on ultra positive, everybody on Boston's negative. So tough to win when you're all negative. But like I said, ultra come in, they handled the job that needed to be handled. They're the better team and they showed it.
Yeah, man. And then the last matchup for Saturday was the Thieves versus New York, which I thought was gonna be a lot closer than what it was, cause the Thieves kind of struggled in the first round of winners, ended up losing that, and then they lost to Boston, and I thought, well, they're in trouble. But then they come out and 3-0 New York, and I was just like, what is happening? Because New York is such a good
Yeah.
team, and they just got steamrolled by the Thieves, and I was just like, all right, maybe the Thieves are back.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Hardpoint was just I mean, they basically almost got a 100-point club.
Right.
And then Search and Control were close. I mean, round 11, 6-5, Thieves take it, and 3-2 in Protocol. In Control, the Thieves take that one as well. It comes down to like minor plays in the last two maps. But again, Thieves are the better team. Um, I, I look at maybe New York. I mean, I don't want to say a team change to get a little bit more firepower to deal with these bigger teams. But again, like who can you add at this point of the season that's really going to take you over the top, and who do you drop? But that's a different conversation for a different day, I should say. But I mean, LA Thieves come out, and this is the team that they should be day in and day out. They should be a top three team, always contending for the first place spot in every Sunday.
Right. Yeah. Like you said, it was the only thing I was shocked about. I wasn't shocked about who won. I was more shocked about the result of it being a 3-0. That was
Yeah,
really the only thing that kind of shocked me. And I was like, huh, I thought they would put up more of a fight. I mean, they kind of did towards the end in the search and control, but I still thought it would be like a 3-1 or 3-2 at most. But yeah, man,
yeah,
that would wrap up the Saturday games. Nothing too exciting besides, like I said, the last two games in the Thieves New York match was pretty exciting. But other than that, it was pretty much a wash when it comes to that. And then
yeah.
on Championship Sunday, we started off with Thieves and Ultra, and then here we go again. I was shocked again that Thieves got 3-0'd, and I was like, what is happening again? It looked like they were playing on Friday again, or whenever they played the
Yeah,
first time, and they kind of just didn't do much.
yeah. The Thieves look flat this entire series. It's tough. I mean, I could only assume being the first matchup and like you're just trying to get some scrims going and then you fall flat in your face map one and it's kind of hard to recuperate from that. Yeah, that's what I chalk it up to. I mean, this Steve's team is very good. We've seen them look at the top of the game and then they come second time they come out to a LAN and they're just not there in the final matchup. So, I mean, I just think I don't know. Maybe they got a Sunday like
Sunday curse.
clog and they're yeah Sunday curse, man. But again, this Thieves team is way too good to even think about anything outside of man. We're just getting unlucky and we're just falling flat on a Sunday being the first match. But again, this Ultra team during this matchup looked seriously scary, like very scary. Jodeci's a 1.47, almost a 1.5,
That
Insight a
was
1.3.
that was his
I mean,
revenge game. He had to get back in his old team.
he
He
did. I
he
mean,
was he was popping two pieces left and right. So happy for
exactly.
him. So he definitely showed out for that matchup. And again, there was some exciting moments in that matchup, but again, the 3-0 was not something I expected on there.
Yeah,
And then we had the winner side of the bracket, which was FaZe
Surge
and
versus FaZe.
Surge, and that one was a little exciting because they went to Game 5, and FaZe came up on top 3-2, and I was like, oh, that was some good call there because we finally got a 3-2. It wasn't like blowouts here and there, so it was good fun to watch that.
100% agree. This is one of those series where your guns are shooting. I mean, they're in the respawns and everything. Everybody on the Surge is positive. Only one person on the phase is well, positive KD. Only one person on phase, which is Celium, was positive KD. But again, it's so close and so minuscule where it's like you're at a 102 kind of stuff, and basically just right where you want to be. But again, Surge take the two hard points, and then the FaZe Clan, Atlanta FaZe, sorry, take 2, 3, 5, and they do the
No Neslo, eh?
yeah, and the old Neslo. I was like, what the fuck? What's his name? But yeah, I mean, the old Neslo, and they really take it. And that's the type of caliber that the FaZe team is. They can win both searches and a control, and they'll be fine. They could drop both hard points. Like, this team is that good and search.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's like, it's scary, man.
Yeah, like even if you said even if they aren't all shooting positive KDs, they can still beat you by fundamentals, which is why they're
Hmm.
such a scary team to play, and it just shows like they got outslayed and they still won, which is insane to say,
Yeah.
but yeah, so they take it up 3-2 to Surge, so Surge falls down to losers, and they go against Toronto, and they end up beating Toronto for a phase rematch in the finals, but they beat Toronto 3-1. I honestly thought Toronto would come out guns hot, since they just beat Thieves, well, 3-0 Thieves, they didn't just beat them. So I thought it was gonna be like a closer matchup, but Surge kind of prevailed and secured that final spot in the finals against FaZe.
Yeah. I mean, Surge has looked very, very, very good with Neptune, the addition of Neptune, and I think it's continuing. This team is, honestly speaking, I feel like they're only going to get better as more consistent play that they got. If you've looked at this major so far, you've gotten consistent play out of Neptune. You got consistent play out of Booza Nasty and '04. Now you look for Booza to really take that next step where he was last year. And then this team gets very scary, especially when you got someone like a Neptune pushing the pace, getting kills on the map. And then if you get a Boozer to where he was last year, like right now he's playing good again. If you get him back to that superstar-ish level, this team again could be on Sundays on that last the stage. Like it's wide open. It's phase, and then it's who else is there? Thieves haven't looked consistent. Optic hasn't looked consistent. Ultra, they're beating Ultra, so it's wide open right now outside of phase. So
Yeah, and I think for them it's gonna be a little bit. They need more experience in that
yeah,
like high level. scene, like in just getting into the finals or the semis and being in winners bracket. They just need, I feel like, more reps and more consistency in that aura, you can say. I think
Mhm.
they'll get more used to it and they can be like, all right, we can compete. It's not just like a fluke that we got here and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be a little bit of time, but I feel like the more consistent they get there, they'll definitely get those reps and become a way better team fast.
Yep.
And then winners finals, I mean grand finals, I should say. It's FaZe Surge, and again, shocked at the results, 4-0 FaZe, and that's just it just shows how dominant they are, and kind of like what Draza said, it's getting a little boring at the top. It's getting too easy for them because they just three-peated when they won at
Yeah.
the what was that the what's that called, that tournament?
EEWC,
They won that. They
the
won major.
Esports World
Yep,
Championship.
they won
Yeah.
that. They won major one. Now they're winning major two. So they just three-peated, went back to back to back. And I don't see a team that's close to them, which is the
I mean,
unfortunate part. Obviously you have Thieves when they're playing at their best is close, and but after that, I don't see a team that can beat them, especially on the grand finals type of scheme.
yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think there is a close. The closest team right now is the Surge, and you just saw them get 4-0. But the series before that, it was a 3-2. It was close. I just think right now, at this point in time, they're the best team in clear cut. Like, there's no one on their level. I mean,
Hmm.
the two teams that are supposed to be on their level, and that's Thieves and Optic, they just, I mean, Thieves have looked consistent until it comes to Sunday. Optic just, I,
They
I don't
haven't
know what.
they haven't been good since major one
I
qualifiers.
mean, yeah, I mean, and I would even argue that they haven't even looked good all year. I mean, if you want me to be completely honest with you, but I mean, on the Optic side, it has to be something outside of the game. I mean, they have three of the most. I mean, I'd argue Dashy is the most talented on paper AR in the league outside of Celium. And then you have Shotzi and Pred, who are two MVP candidates. So it's like Skies, Kenny, whoever the hell is the other AR, it's not their problem. And if you look at the way Optics played, it's really not that second AR person. I just think it's a whole bunch of guys just running around like it's a pub. And when you look at FaZe, they're treating everybody like a pub and they're just smoking everybody, but they're just playing together.
Hmm.
And that's what makes the game so easy for them. But I mean, listen, we got 2 weeks maybe till, yeah, 2 weeks about until qualifiers for Major 3 starts, and hopefully you start seeing some of these teams round out a lot better. But listen, if Stellium's posting 1.5s, 1.5 and a 5.5 in Search and Destroy, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
phase can do the old Serena Williams and do a grand slam and just walk through everything and cakewalk into the champs, man.
That's what I think is gonna happen unless an upset happens somewhere down the line. But I
Yeah,
honestly, like I said, if teams don't take phase out early before they get in their groove during the next tournament, like that first round, the second round, where like it's more likely to see those upsets. Because once they get to those winter finals or grand finals, it's pretty much chalk after
tough.
that. They're
Yeah,
not. I don't think they give that up easily. But like I said, there are teams that can beat them, but it's just the fact of those teams get in there again. Because we've seen the
yeah,
upset. Thieves got upset, and then Surge just got slammed when they made it to grand finals. So I don't know. I think a better matchup probably would have been Toronto, because some of those guys have been there before. So, but obviously they got to get through Surge, and they didn't. So, I mean, we'll see coming up these qualifiers how teams adjust and whatever. But right now it's looking like a phase sweep in my eyes.
yeah, 100%. I agree.
All right, so let's take it on to some hardwood, take it on to some basketball, and
Yes,
see what we
sir.
had going on there. The biggest, I guess the best game that happened was the Clippers and OKC that kind of just finished up, right?
Yeah. I guess I'll take this one. OKC beats the Clippers 103 to 101. OKC did not have J-Dub, so um interesting. I would say Shea doesn't have the greatest shooting night. 7 for 29, 7 for 29, 11 11 from the free throw line. gets his 26 points, 8 assists, and then scoring is kind of throughout just even. Everyone scores. Aaron Wiggins with 19. I look at the other side of it, and I, the reason why I'm looking at the other side is because I mean I look at Kawhi Leonard. I mean 10 for 20, 2 for 4 from the three, 25 and 10, 25 points, 10 rebounds. I mean it's good to see Kawhi Leonard back on the floor. Um, Even Ben Simmons is getting minutes over there. He got 8 points for them. Good old Ben Simmons. But I mean it's good to see Chris Kawhi Leonard really balling again.
Played 40 minutes too.
Yeah, he probably won't play the next game. Probably take that one off. But I mean, it just shows you how deep this OKC roster is, where they're missing one of their I mean their second or third, whatever wherever we want to put them, guy out there, and they're still winning games. Like that's how deep this bench is. That's how deep this team is. So shout out to OKC, man.
Yeah, like you said, missing guys still able to beat a Clippers team who, for the most part, is healthy and had their players playing.
Yeah,
Obviously, Kawhi didn't shoot as efficient as he normally does. James Harden shot terrible. So just a couple things to point out there. Zubac played well. Powell played terrible as well. So some bad shooting nights for some of the Clipper players. Harden went 4 for 14. You don't see that often. 2 for 6 from the 3 point line, and then Powell went 4 for 12, 1 for 6 from the 3 point line. So obviously a couple baskets go their way. It's a different ball game, but it's kind of how it happens. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. But unfortunate for the Clippers, two guys didn't have it today, so that kind of costed them at the end. But yeah,
yep,
OKC wraps that dub up and beats the Clippers. And where are they at in the playoff picture? Oh, they're. I mean, OKC's first. We kind of knew that, but
yeah.
it
Clippers are
knocks.
seventh, right?
Yeah, it knocks the Clippers right below
The
Warriors,
Warriors.
so it puts the Warriors out of the play-in and into like the actual playoff picture. So that's, if you're a Warrior fan, that's good for y'all. If you're a Clippers fan, that's kind of bad for you because you got the Timberwolves, Kings, and the Suns in there. So that none of those teams are an easy task. So you gotta pick up some games here, but it's really close from, like, I would say even from the third seed down. It's pretty close if you look
Yeah,
at
it's
it
pretty
those
bundled
way.
up right now.
Yeah, so if you're Houston or OKC, you're kind of sitting pretty, but Nuggets, Lakers, Memphis, Warriors, you're still in the fight of trying to get out that play-in. So, and again, it's not a play-in you want to be because those teams are pretty stacked down there.
Yeah, yeah. The West is very, very, very close.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for the Rockets, they lose a game to the Nuggets where there was no Jokic and Jamal Murray was balling like it was bubble Jamal Murray all over again. He dropped
Mhm.
39 with seven assists and 4 rebounds. I mean, he played out of his mind today. I mean, that's good to see for Jamal Murray. He's one of those players that you like. I mean, you don't expect someone to drop 40 every night, but he's someone who you expect to drop 20 to 25 to help Jokic, and without Jokic, he's dropping basically 40. DeAndre Jordan looking like Clipper DeAndre Jordan dropping 11 and 15 with 4 assists.
That was gonna be my
So,
highlight player right there.
but I mean, if you look at, I mean, everything down, this is a total team effort from the Nuggets, and this is a game for the Houston Rockets that you need. I mean, they're not playing. I mean, top what three, top two MVP candidate in Jokic, and they're not winning. I mean, Shane Goon over there dropping a triple double on the other end, 17, 14, and 10 on the other side. But this is a team win that you needed. I mean, shout out to Jalen Green. He drops his 30, not on the most efficient way. I mean, 8 for 22. But that this is a team that you needed to beat when their best player was not playing.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I wanted to shout out DeAndre Jordan because he played 38 minutes, had 11 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, when Jokic is not there and you're getting that from some guy who you don't think is capable of that anymore, because
Yeah.
obviously DeAndre Jordan a little past his prime from the Clipper days, but if he's coming out here doing that, and then obviously he's gonna be off the bench. If he's doing that off the bench, that's gonna be a tough team to beat. And I was watching that game too. It looked like Clippers DeAndre Jordan, like Jamal Murray was throwing him oops and stuff like that, and I was just like, huh, I didn't know he still had it like that. So it was fun to see. It looked like a little lob city there. They were having fun. And Westbrook had a good night as well. Obviously, he didn't have not much rebound and assists. He did end up falling out at the end of the game there. And then like you said with the Rockets, Jalen Green, even though he had a good night, it was a tough night shooting wise. He shot 3 for 12 from the 3 point line, which is terrible. At some point you got to stop shooting it, but Dylan
Yeah,
Brooks had a good night. He 21 points, 8 for 12, 5 for 8 from the 3 point line. It's not someone you think about shooting threes, but I mean he made 5 of those things. But other than that, it was
yeah,
pretty wishy-washy. Besides Seagun's triple double, but like you said,
yeah,
for the Rockets, it is a team you have to beat as well.
yeah, 100%. They need Fred VanVleet to play a lot better. I mean, 2 for 12 from the field, 1 for 8 from the 3 point line.
Hmm.
Like, listen, I understand shoot with confidence and keep shooting until it start falling. But man, go to the damn cup and go get a foul and get to the free throw line and get yourself going. I mean, it's tough, tough, tough.
Agreed.
Like, I just want to point out Christian Braun, who's well, I think should be the most improved player. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, but he was a plus 17 on the game. The only person that was better was Jamal Murray with a plus 19. So he's doing something good on that court. It's a lot more than just the numbers, man. I like that guy.
Agreed. Um.
Next game we have would be the Miami Heat versus Charlotte. Listen, Miami comes in. I mean, they end a 10-game losing streak. Uh, which you don't, what Eric Spoelstra team, you don't expect to hear very much because
Right.
I mean that's just how great of a coach he is. But they need to start winning some games. Right now they are, I believe, 10th. Yeah, 10th in the East right now. So they're in that one and done for real when it comes to the playing tournament. So, but a big, 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 big night for Andrew Wiggin, absolutely balling. 16 for 21 on the field for from the field, 6 of 8 from the 3 point line. I mean, absolutely balling. And then Tyler Hero with 29, 6 and 3. And I mean, they won a game that they should win, but a game like these are the games that they've been losing too. So good to see that this Heat team still has a lot of fight in them left, and hopefully they make this East a lot more interesting. I feel like that's what the East needs, man. They need the Heat to be good, like they do.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was he on the losing streak is a team you want to see on that losing streak is the Hornets because they play no defense and just shoot the ball a ton. I
Hmm.
looking at their stats, they shot the ball pretty terribly. I know Lamelo's just coming back, but he 6 for 19, 2 for 10 from the 3 point line. He did have 11 assists and 18 points, but then you had Miles Bridges over 7 from the 3 point line, and pretty much everyone else pretty shot the ball bad. So again,
Yeah.
if you're a team fighting for the playoffs, these are teams it's a must win situation right here. Like you have to beat teams like this, and they got the job done. You said Wiggins had a big night, so I mean the Heat did what they had to do, and thankfully, because then we would have been bashing them because you shouldn't lose to the Hornets when you're fighting for playoffs right now.
Yeah, 100% agree. And then the last game we'll get into, and it wasn't a big game, but it was a game because this team was on a slide that we really haven't seen much of this year, and that's the Cavaliers. They're on a 3-game losing streak.
Hmm.
Yeah. Before that, they were 56-11, and they come out absolutely dominate the Jazz as you would, but um Donovan Mitchell goes back home and well back to his old team and completely dominates as a team full effort. I mean, you had 6 guys in double figures for the Cavs. Team high, sorry, for the Cavs was Jared Allen with 18. On the other end, the Utah Jazz, you know, young team just, putting some balls, I mean, hopefully in the hoop. I mean, I like what the Jazz are doing in a sense of playing their young guys. Let's see what they do in the offseason. Hopefully they have a couple. I think they have 2 picks this year. I might be mistaken with that, but again, Keontae George doesn't have the best of games, 1 for 7 from the field. I mean, that's just all funny stat. -40 plus or minus for Walker Kessler. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. But um, I mean, listen, that's the Cavs. The Cavs comes back, and it's good to see the Cavs winning a game here when after coming off a three-game slide. Listen, you rather lose now than just keep winning and winning and winning, and then you get to the playoffs and you lose two straight, and then you're just like, what do we do? So it was a good bounce back win for the Cavs.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's good to see them win on a team like the Jazz, but only thing that concerns me is their shooting. Is when they aren't shooting well, they tend
Yeah,
not to score a lot, and they can like it's a recipe for disaster for them. Cause like they shot the three ball terribly. I mean, no one really shot the ball really efficient besides Jared Allen. Outside of that, maybe Hunter was 50%, but besides him,
yeah,
everyone's below that 50% mark. And then at the 3 point line, I think the only one that went over 50% was Jerome,
Tyler. Yeah,
who went 3 for 4, 3 for 4, and then everyone else is. You had Mitchell go over 5, Jared Garland went 2 for 8, Mobley went 0 for 4. So it's not a good thing you want to see. Luckily, they still end up winning the game, but against a good team, numbers like that is not gonna cut it. And that's my only
yeah,
concern with the Cavaliers, as good as they are, is if they have one of these off nights against a good team, it's gonna be hard to win that game. But
yeah,
hopefully, come playoff time, they kind of get more consistent. And if the three ball isn't working, like you said, kind of get to the hole, draw some fouls and stuff like that, because this is a team that likes to do that with Mitchell and Garland, but they do tend to shoot the three ball a lot, even when it's not
yeah,
falling. So that's my little niche with this team that kind of scares me going into playoffs with them.
yeah. 100% I agree. I mean, they shot a total of 96 shots, like from the entire field, and 48 of them were three-pointers. So
Yeah,
I mean, listen, I mean, if you look at the free throw discrepancy, it's 20. They had 31, and then the Jazz had 18. Again, Jazz are a younger team, so you probably won't hear the whistle as much for them because they're just young guys hooping against a Cavs team who you have household names. So if they're driving in, they do a little they're gonna get the call.
right.
So I 100% I agree with you. It can be a recipe for disaster taking 48 threes. I mean, that's a little insane to think about. But again,
Especially when they're not falling is the problem.
yeah,
If you're taking
yeah,
48 and they're
100%.
falling, cool, we can live with that. But if you're
Yeah,
taking 48 and like majority of them like are not falling, it's a little scary.
yeah. But again, that's why if you look back, I think it was 2 years ago, the Knicks beat them in the playoffs. I mean, because you can when you're looking at this lineup, it's scary, yes, but when it's the playoffs, it's the calls are a lot like
More
you need to
lenient.
get you need to get actually bumped in the playoffs to get a foul. But when you look at this starting five of Garland Mitchell, yeah, those two guys can shoot the ball into the hoop from anywhere. Max Strus catch and shoot player, but then you look at Mobley and Allen, Jared Allen. You look at two guys that can shoot the ball in Mobley ish at times, and then Jared Allen can't shoot, but you can sag off those two guys, and you could pay help coverage on the strong side or even weak side, depending on where those guys are. So that's what I'm guessing teams would do against the Cavs team during the playoffs. But again, playoffs don't start for another
Couple
3 weeks
weeks.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 3 weeks, whatever. Might be a little off. 4 weeks maybe, but that's what I think the teams are gonna try to do to this Cavaliers team.
Yeah. So obviously I think they still hold that top seed in the East. So shout out to
Yeah.
them. They're still doing what they gotta do. And then shout out to CJ McCollum who dropped 40. That's all.
Ow.
Just had to shout him
And
out. He was out there feeling like Blazer CJ. So gotta
you
give him a
forgot
good
our
shout.
guy, man.
Oh, Quentin. Everyone knows he
Quentin.
dropped 30.
He dropped 26 tonight, man.
Close enough. But yeah, that
But
wraps up the basketball
yes,
for us.
sir.
Obviously, there were some other games, but none of them had any crazy playoff implications and wasn't that exciting.
Yes, sir. That does it for what is it? This is technically episode 6. Episode 5 has some technical difficulties, so this is are we calling this 5 or 6?
5.
Okay, we'll call this
We
5.
gotta redo the actual 5 and re-upload it at
Yeah.
another date, but like you said, we'll probably push that episode back a little bit towards when
Yeah,
once
closer
once
to
yeah, once baseball season
opening day.
about to start, yeah, we'll push that around that time and just keep on pushing forward current events until then.
Yes, sir. But listen, if you're here, I mean, obviously this one isn't live today. This one's pre-recorded. So when you guys do see this, like, comment, throw a little sub on the YouTube, follow our Twitter. What else we got? Yeah, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, all that good stuff. Drop a
Hmm.
comment, something you want us to talk about, your favorite teams, anything, man. Anything you guys want to see us talk about in the future. But like I said, it's been fun. We're well, we should get a lot more consistent now. Hopefully a lot of things are out of the way.
Yeah, for
So
now.
yes, sir.
But
Very
yeah,
excited.
we
Baseball season.
do we do encourage y'all to throw some comments in there, even if you want us to dedicate a good portion of the pod just to talk about a specific thing, whether it be a team, a subject, playoffs, or upcoming players or something like that. You guys want us to talk about? Let us know so we can tackle that, pique your interest, and get us engaged with you guys because that's what we want is to engage with our community. So the more you guys comment and even if you call us out on some BS or say we're wrong about something, hey, look, an argument is content. If you guys want to argue with us or bring up a subject that you guys may not agree on, we can put our points on it and you can throw your points on there and then, get to know each other through the comments of the world.
Yes, sir. Hey, Giants got big W. James Winston going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, God. At least you didn't get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, literally.
All right, well, that wraps up this episode. We'll catch you on the next one. Like you said, like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast with anyone that's interested in sports or anything that we talk about. Pretty sure they'll enjoy it. And like I said, later on in the future, we might ask y'all to come on the show and we'll have some arguments and some debates and stuff like that. So the more we get engaged with you guys, the more things we can do for you guys. So just keep that in mind. And that's it for me. That's it for E. I'm pretty sure. So we'll catch you on the next episode. Thank y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Good night. Good night.